Samantha, and I am back with another how-to video. This how-to video is about how to de-shed your dog. This is a very common problem for a lot of pet owners. Long hair, short hair, small dogs, large dogs. Everybody has the problem of shedding hair. Now, right off the bat, the first thing I need to tell you is there is no way to get rid of shedding 100% unless you shave your dog bald all the time, which is not recommended, by the way. So you're going to have to deal with some shed hair, but there are many ways that you can reduce the amount of hair that your dog sheds, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The number one way that you can reduce shedding in your dog is by regular brushing. And by regular brushing, I mean daily is really recommended, but if you do it every other day, every 2 to 3 days, as long as you do it a few times a week, you're going to reduce, well, actually, anytime you do it, you're reducing shedding because you're brushing out hair that's not going to be in your house. But if you do it daily, that's the best way to reduce shedding as much as possible. There are other ways. There are supplements that you can give your dog to boost his skin and coat health. Regular bathing is a great way to get rid of some unwanted hair. They make de-shedding shampoos. You can take your dog to a regular groomer, a professional groomer regularly, and they do certain de-shedding treatments if you have a dog that really sheds excessively. But if you just have your run-of-the-mill, typical shedding dog, and you don't want to spend the money for professional grooming and that kind of stuff, brushing is the number one way to reduce shedding. So what you want to remember is that you need a brush that's going to be fit for your dog. Any dog, before you use, this is a de-shedding tool, and this is what everybody thinks of, a Furminator. This is a Dax Pet. This is a Magic Pro. Dax Pet is another common one. De-shedding tools, that's what everybody thinks they need to use to de-shed your dog, which is true. These work very well, but your dog needs to be brushed beforehand with a regular brush to get out all the mats, all the tangles, all of that stuff. If you hit a tangle with a brush like this, with skinny little teeth like this, it's going to grab that tangle and it's going to rip the hair out of your dog. It's going to be painful for him, and he is not going to want you to brush him anymore. So you need to really be certain that you brush your dog and brush him out well before you do the de-shedding. You want to use a de-shedding tool. The best time to use it is after a bath, but you want to make sure that your dog is 100% dry. So, for example, our chocolate lab, who was right here, Sadie, come here, Sadie, good girl. So Sadie had a bath this morning. She is a double-coated lab, and labs are known for their shedding. So Sadie is such a good girl for grooming time. She was given a bath this morning, and that was hours ago. It does take a double-coated dog a very long time to dry, so you want to make sure, run your fingers way down deep into their coat and make sure that they are completely dry before you de-shed. So Sadie was brushed. Before I turned the camera on, I brushed her, Sadie was bathed, and before I turned the camera on, I brushed her out with her regular, we use a pin brush on Sadie, so I brushed her with that, and now we're all set to use a de-shedding brush on her. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that you guys understand the importance of finding a brush for your dog. As I mentioned, Sadie's a double-coated Labrador. There are dogs with double coats. There are dogs that have fur compared to hair. The easiest way to tell that, if your dog's hair continues to grow like a human's, if they need haircuts and they have long flowing hair that continues to grow, that's hair. If it stops growing at a certain point, like for example our Labrador, it stops growing at a certain point, that is fur. So that is one major difference, hair versus fur. You have long coats, you have short coats, you have single coats and double coats. Some dogs have wiry hair, some dogs have curly hair. So these are all things you really want to take an evaluation of your dog's coat and make sure that you either do the research on your own and do very thorough research, speak with your veterinarian, speak with a professional groomer, find out the product that's going to be the best product to brush your dog, that's going to make him comfortable and be easy for you to use. If it's not easy for you to use, you are not going to want to brush your dog every day. If it's not comfortable for your dog, he's not going to let you brush him every day. So you really need to find a good quality brush. Again, there are many different kinds. Do some research. I have written an article. Actually, we have multiple articles on topdogtips.com. If you just jump on and search dog brushes, we have multiple articles. You can see photos of the different kinds of brushes, and you can read what they're for. You can see some videos to find out what is the best brush for your dog. We use a pin and bristle brush on Sadie. There are undercoat rakes for dogs with undercoats. There are combs. There are so many different types of brushes that you can use on your dog. So make sure you find the one that's right for him. You're gonna bathe him, let him dry, give him a good brushing all the way through, everywhere, back of the legs where that hair gets longer, under the neck, belly, all of that. You wanna make sure you thoroughly brush your dog, and then it is time for the de-shedding tool. Now, these de-shedding tools are very popular, but they aren't always used in the right way. So you want to make sure that you use them correctly. I'm going to grab Sadie and I will show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here's Sadie, and we're going to talk a bit about de-shedding tools. You can get de-shedding tools for all different types of dogs. Again, long hair, short hair, small breeds, large breeds. They'll have recommendations for like the size of your dog. They might go by weight, they might go by body length, that kind of stuff. And you can also, apparently Molly wants to get brushed too. Now, depending on what you choose, for example, if you decide to buy a Furminator, that's a very common type of de-shedding tool, you are going to have many different options. You can choose between long hair and short hair. You can choose a different size of a dog. And the head of the de-shedding tool should come with a guard like this to keep it safe when not in use. And Molly, no. They want to wrestle and I want to brush. So you're going to get a different size head. If you have a small breed, you might get a little one. Longer coats are going to have a thicker, like longer teeth on the brush, and shorter coats. Now, if you have a double-coated dog like Sadie, I highly recommend you buy a specific de-shedding tool for a double-coated dog, because that's what's going to get into that undercoat and really get that unwanted hair out. As you can tell, Sadie is very used to being brushed. So what you want to do is take your de-shedding tool and you just want to pull it down. You want to start at their neck. Preferably your dog should be standing, but Sadie really likes to lay down when I brush her, so I do it on one side and then I go ahead and I flip her over and do the other side. So you can see just from quick brushing on Sadie how I already have clumps of hair. This really gets down into her undercoat and gets rid of all that unwanted hair. So you want to do these nice long strokes down your dog. You don't want to press in hard. If you press in hard, these little stainless steel teeth could cut into your dog's skin. You absolutely don't want that. That's a huge no-no. You do not want to press very hard. Just sort of run it down your dog, and you're not going to get any yiping or crying. It doesn't hurt your dog in any way. Some de-shedding tools have a ejector button, so they have a little button up top here and you can push the button and it'll push the hair out of the brush, which is really nice. That's something to look for. I do use this one because I like the way it works on Sadie. It seems to really work well on her coat, and as you can tell, it pulls out a lot of hair, so that makes me happy. What you want to do after you do these long strokes down the dog's body, down the back, then you can start doing the more sensitive areas, maybe up around the ears. You can do the neck. You want to do their stomach too and their belly, because they do have fur down here that will shed. As you can tell, Sadie still has plenty of fur on her belly. So you're not pushing hard to scratch that skin. You're just going nice and easy, and you do want to be extra careful in these areas that don't have a lot of fur, because it can scratch your dog's coat, your skin really easily, and that's not a good thing. You want to be careful doing their head. Do not do their head with a de-shedding tool. You can do the back of their neck and underneath here, but you really don't want to get anywhere in the face area, because that's going to be a recipe for disaster. You may get a sensitive area, you may get their eyes, scratch their skin on their face, so you don't want to do that. You want to do, you know, the inside of the legs, things like that. Back here by the base of their tail and their anus, you want to be very, very careful for that, because that can hurt as well. I do Sadie's tail because her tail does shed, and I do back here, they kind of get those long hairs on the very back of their legs, so I always do back there and get a lot of hair there as well. You really want to do all over your dog, just skipping the face. You know, you can do, like I said, the back of the neck. Molly, we're not wrestling, no. So these guys want to play. I'm sorry, usually Sadie is better than this, but as you can tell, I do these long strokes down her body, and we're gathering tons of hair. So that's how you want to de-shed your dog. In the beginning, it's going to take a while. You might spend 30 to 45 minutes. out here with your dog just brushing like this. If you have a dog that's squirmy or a dog that's not as used to being brushed as Sadie is, it may take even longer. What you may want to do in that instance is just do 5 minutes here, you know, maybe start with just 1 minute or 2 minutes if your dog is really finicky about it, and then go ahead and do another 1 or 2 minutes and kind of build that up to 5 minutes and then 10 minutes. You know, so you can do all of that. So what I do for Sadie, because she lays down, is just flip her over. Sadie is a very lazy lab. Molly, puppies. She took off with our guard there. So you want to just do these big long strokes down your dog, and you're still pulling out more hair. Again, I really recommend brushing every single day, especially if you're worried about deshedding. That's really the only way to get the most hair out of your dog, is to do it every single day. And as I was talking about, gradually, you know, working up. So you work up and finally you're at the 15 or 20 minutes a day that you want to be at. You spend those 15 or 20 minutes with your dog, brushing your dog. This is a bonding experience. Your dog is, as Sadie is, just relaxed and enjoying it and loving being brushed. It feels good for her. It feels good for her to get that loose hair out of her coat. I'm happy because I'm happy because all of this hair that you've been seeing me pull out and throw to the side of us is not going to be in my house tonight. So I'm happy, she's happy. Deshedding is really a must for any dog that sheds, especially in those times of the year when the shedding is the worst. Go on, like the spring and in the fall. So hopefully your dog will get to the point where she enjoys it as much as Sadie does, and you guys can just enjoy being together in each other's company, and it's that bonding experience. So it's really a great thing all around. And as you can tell, we're outside. I didn't mention this in the beginning, but I highly recommend deshedding your dog outside. As you can see, all the clumps, these are just some of the clumps. There's more behind us of Sadie's hair. So this is all the hair that I've gotten off Sadie just in the last few minutes that I've been sitting here brushing her. So you really want to, yes, that's not very helpful. You know, so I recommend doing it outside because you will not have to clean all this hair up off your floor. If you do it inside, do it on a tile floor or a linoleum floor, somewhere that's going to be easy to sweep or easy to vacuum everything up. And of course, when you're done, make sure you put that guard on and put your deshedding tool in a safe place. You don't want anybody to get cut on it. And also the guard protects your deshedding tool from getting dull. So you want to make sure you keep that and use it. Don't let your puppies eat it. Okay, so if you guys have any other questions about deshedding your dog, how to deshed your dog, how to brush your dog, anything that I can help you with, I would be happy to do so. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. You can obviously find us on YouTube. If you're watching this video on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And you can find us on topdogtips.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have by email. My email is samantha@topdogtips.com, and you can find a link for my email right on our website. If you do have any questions, I really encourage you to post them on our social media pages or on YouTube or right on our website so that other readers can find that information out too. Chances are if you have a question, somebody else has the same one. So don't be shy, guys. I want to hear from you, and let me know if you have any deshedding tips or brushing tips. I would love to hear about that. If there's a how-to that you want to know about, make sure you send me a message and let me know, and I will try and get that in. I'm always happy to help a fellow dog owner take care of their pet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this how-to, and I will see you next time. Thanks.